welcome back to another Hot Mic where we answer all your questions that you may have. So there's a lot of things that you guys have been asking lately in terms of picture quality for 65 inches and 75 inches, and so I kind of wanted to answer some of that stuff early on. Essentially, for me personally, I typically don't like to go bigger than a 65-inch TV. 75 would be the absolute max. Now, a lot of people have been looking for recommendations for a 75-inch TV. I haven't really come across any so far. Now, I probably will down the road as time goes on, but really, to be very honest with you, it's not really looking great right now as far as the TV market. I mean, it's either you get an OLED or, I mean, you kind of have very step down options in that most of the people that are making TVs these days, whether it's Samsung or LG or whoever, aren't really putting their best foot forward, if I'm being honest with you, when you talk about those bigger 8K TVs. So I don't really put my stock there. And then even with the bigger TVs that we have on the market, there's really just not that much that you can really do as far as a 75-inch. So I just kind of wanted to address some of that stuff. Now, for those who are wondering about the Hisense U6G, we still do have it here, and so we're still going to be doing comparisons and tests like that. And if you guys have any questions on what you want to see before I start the comparisons, which should be starting either tomorrow or probably the following week, I'm not exactly sure, it really just depends. We'll be kind of going off of what you guys want to see. So that's pretty much how I'll go about that. So as everybody comes into the chat here, I want to kind of pose a question. Which character should we start off with? And just kind of shout out the one you guys want to see, and that's the one we are going to use. Now, in terms of everyday life and everything like that, just let me know how you guys are doing and things like that, what you guys are getting into these days. Personally, I've been busy updating the studio here and really studying a lot of my videography stuff and getting my image quality to look a lot better here on the channel for you guys, which for me, coming from a photography background, has been ridiculously difficult because I have so many bad habits, because I'm so used to, if something is too dark, you can always just open up your shutter speed, which you can't do on video because you introduce all these problems. It's just so much. There's so many little things you have to learn with video. So definitely an ongoing process to try to get better picture and better image quality here on the channel for you guys, which I'm sure you guys probably saw in my last video. And that's just the beginning. We've got more stuff on the way. We've got more awesome content headed, right here on the channel. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. So what's going on, Joshua? You said, yo, Quantum, how are you, bro? I'm doing good. Just a lot of work lately, but I'm pretty good. And what's going on, RL Car? What's happening, man? Nice to hear from you. Feel free at any time also to fire off the questions you guys may have, because that's what we're here for. Answer any question that you may or may not have. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, if you guys just coming in, want to pick a character, let me know who I should pick, and we'll start off with whoever says the first character they know. So that's what we'll do. And Black Manta, that was fast. All right, I don't think I've done Black Manta on one of these before, so that's what we'll do. We'll pick a Black Manta build, and we'll just let him go crazy. RL Car says the U6 versus the U8. Are you asking in terms of like how they stack up next to each other, or like as far as like a comparison you want to see? What's going on, Steve? Thank you for being a member. It really means the world to me. I appreciate your support, helping us do what we do here, man. Just wanted to give you that shout out for sure. What's going on? I need a 75-inch, bro. U7G or U6G for movies. Personally, I haven't seen the U7G yet. It's coming either next week or the following week, according to my source. It really just depends when they get them in off the trucks, and then they can start distributing them out. But ultimately, it's just kind of like we're playing a waiting game at this point. But when I get the U7G, it'll be, we're just going to hit the ground running with that as well. Now, the only thing is, it's really hard to say because I don't actually know what the U7G looks like, and I don't want to sit here and say the U7G absolutely, and then the U6 might be better for some aspects of movie watching. Though, if I had to guess, if they put motion processing back in, the U7G, for me personally, has a clear advantage, because I don't watch TV, movies, gaming, anything without motion processing. I don't like doing it. It's very uncomfortable for me. Jittering, like for me, literally gets me like motion sick, so I can't handle it. I need something very fluid. But that's what I mean. Like, everybody has their quirks, I guess, when it comes to these TVs and which one will work for them the best. So that's kind of what I would say there. It's hard though, because the U6G is like $1,000 for a 75-inch, almost, like, you know, 1,000, 1,100, like in that ballpark. I mean, that's a damn good deal though. So that's kind of hard to beat too. I don't know. I mean, you could try it. You can always try it and see if it's worth your time. Hey, if you're happy with it, great. But I can't really say for sure until I see it. Very long-winded to say that, but hopefully that answered it, Josh. Dane, what's going on, man? You said good evening, bro, and good evening to you as well. It's always good to see you stop by the stream. Sean, what's going on? You said, what good Samsung TV is great to buy out there? It's really hard, man, because, like, starting with, like, my adventure in this whole TV thing, my, like, first HD TV was a Samsung. And so, from that point, I just kind of always looked at Samsung, liked Samsung, but as the years progressed, it just kind of started getting worse after 2018. Like, from 2019 onward, almost everything they put out has been literally dog water, and like not something that I could write off on, because at the end of the day, there's like green tinting, there's vertical banding, there's dirty screen effect. The dirty screen effect is like notoriously bad. I think at this point almost everybody knows about it. And then there's a blooming problem where, you know, people are playing coy with you. They're saying, oh, you know, buy the Samsung QN90A, QN85A, it's a great TV, but then they're omitting the fact that there is a hell of a lot of blooming for something that was advertised as a quantum matrix technology. So in terms of great Samsung TVs, I mean, maybe on the used market, I'd say you could find some killer sets. Like, I'm still rocking my 2016 Samsung KS8000. That's still one of the best TVs, in my opinion, ever made. But then at the same token, you have Samsung's Q8FM. Absolutely love that TV to no end. That literally is like my main monitor that I use for like everything in my office. So it's hard because it's like you have different personalities. Some people might not mind DSC, some people will. So it's really hard to say, but honestly, I think Samsung has really been taking too much time off. They're like that one chick in a relationship, right? That like starts eating and gets overly big for no reason because they started dating you and they get comfortable. You know, I think that's one of the situations that we're in with Samsung. They know the consumer's gonna stick around, so they're just gonna get as slothish and as disgusting as they can possibly get before they start changing and giving us something worth sticking around for. It's like we almost have to give them an ultimatum before they change. So as far as Samsung goes and good TVs, I think, I don't know, man, it's hard because there are good ones, but they're only mediocre by what they were doing. And I think on the market right now, you should be looking at like a Hisense, and that's just because they're offering more for the money than what you're getting on, you know, the other brands. So as crappy as that may seem, that is unfortunately how it is right now. Okay, so let's see what we've got here coming. I think it is Dane. You said I can't wait for my C1 to clear customs. You're importing your C1? You got it coming through customs, man. That's serious. Well, hopefully everything works out for you. And then we've got Dave. What's going on? Dave says, hey Quantum, I have a Sony X90J and a Samsung Q80A. Trying to decide which one to keep. What would you suggest? Ooh, you really are asking a good question here, because in my personal view, I wouldn't keep either one of them if I'm being honest. But between the two, it's going to come down to, if you want direct control over your color space, then you would want to stick with the Sony X90J, because Samsung is not going to allow you to go in there and do as much as you can color space wise with the Sony X90J. You also aren't going to be getting as much depth of field and contrast in some areas, and even dynamic range in certain content pieces in SDR are going to be worse on the Samsung. And then there's the fact that the black levels are pretty bad for the most part on Samsung's TVs this year. They're not really trying that hard. Now, I haven't had the pleasure of seeing the Q80A, but I have seen the QN85A. So if it's anything like that, then it's probably going to have a ton of blooming in a lot of areas. So I don't know. I kind of have a lean towards the Sony X90J, but I mean, a slight lean, a very slight lean, if I'm being honest with you, because then if you require gaming features, you might want to keep the Samsung. So that really is going to depend on your personal needs. What's going on, Isaac? Thanks for stopping by. It's always good to hear from you. You said, which is better as far as clarity and depth, the H9G or the U8G? Honestly, if I'm being real with you, I kind of like the H9G better than the U8G, and that's because I feel like their motion was smoother, and ultimately that leads to better immersion. You know, when you have a better control over the motion resolution, you're able to see more, and so obviously everything just kind of looks clearer. So I think that's kind of my feeling there. But as far as black levels, the U8G kind of takes the cake, so it's kind of hard. You have to prioritize almost which one is more important to you.
Black Manta wins.
What's going on, Joshua? Thanks for being a VIP member. It means the world to me to help us do what we do here. So thank you so much, Josh, for that. Big shout out to you. You said, what it do, Q? It's going, man. Just hanging out with you guys and answering as many questions as I can. What's going on, RL Car? You said comparison video U8 and U6 with the winner takes on the U7. I can't unfortunately do the U8. I no longer have the U8, but from what I've seen, the U6 takes black levels, but the U8 takes everything else. That's pretty much how that one would have gone out. Now, I will be doing comparisons with the U6 versus my Sony A8G OLED. A completely unfair comparison, I grant you, but I truly think it might hold its own better than people are ready to admit, and I want to see it with my own eyes, how good it can kind of hold up. And I'm kind of thinking maybe we revive the KS8000, do a comparison against that, maybe my Q8FN. Who knows? We could go crazy. It really just depends on what you guys want to see. All right, so will you have settings for the U7G, and how do we pay for it from you? So settings are basically an exclusive perk of being a channel member, along with like behind the scenes looks at certain things. You know, when I get certain information, you guys get it first, that kind of thing. To join is really easy. I usually put links in the description on all of my videos, like a direct link to join. You have the join button next to subscribe, and then you also could go into the playlist section, click on any of the settings in the playlist, and then it will prompt you to join from there. So a couple ways you could do it. There are also direct links I can send you if you're having problems. I know some people on like Apple sometimes have problems and they need direct links to stuff. So it really just does depend. But yeah, those are the most common ways to join up here on the channel. European U8G version IPS panel, is it worth it? I've heard some horrible things about the European variant of the Hisense U8G, so I would say no, because, I mean, so many people from so many walks of life have had a pretty unanimous feeling about it, but I haven't seen it, so I can't really say one way or another. What's going on, Troy? It's always a pleasure to see you in the chat, man. Thanks for stopping by tonight. And also, thank you for being a VIP member. I really appreciate it. It really does go a long way towards helping us out, brother, as I'm sure you know. You said, what's QA? Did you see the release on the U9DG is July 27th, I think. I can't wait to see your review. I haven't heard anything, so you're hearing before me. I have no idea when it releases, but when it does release, I am going to do my damnedest to get my hands on one to review it and see if it's basically an OLED, because we know it has millions of pixels in it, right? 2 million local dimming zones, so that's like pixel level dimming at that point, really. Let's call it what it is. And so I kind of want to see how that stacks up to an OLED, and the AAG being my everyday daily TV, I'm very excited to see how that's going to play out, especially seeing it, you know, right now, because if you don't know, I do the live streams right here from the television, and I just let it run the entire time. So I'm very curious to see what that's going to look like in real world usage. So yeah, a big shout out to Felix for your donation of $5. It really helps the channel grow anytime any of you guys help us out. So I really appreciate it, man. So thank you so much for that. You didn't attach a super chat to it or question or anything, but I really do appreciate you, Felix. So thank you so much. And then we've got a question coming in from Steve. What's going on, man? And also thank you for being a VIP member here on the channel. Thanks for stopping by. I truly appreciate it. You said used your C10 settings on my G10 I just bought. Looks great over mantle. Looks great over the mantle. Yeah, I'm glad it looks great, man, and I'm glad you're enjoying those settings and they were able to transfer laterally for you. So that way, you know, it's a one-size-fits-all, which I kind of figured because, like, the LG panels are pretty similar for the most part. So it is good that the settings did work for you. So thank you for that, Steve. I'm not going to butcher your name, but I will say, what's going on, man? You said 65-inch U8G or 65-inch X90J. Same price in Canada. Help people. Is the U8G in Canada like what we have here in the States, or is it the IPS version? Because if it's the IPS version, just go with the X90J. That's as simple as I think anyone could probably tell you. Big shout out to BitCloud Gaming, man. Thanks for stopping by, brother. It's nice to see you as well. And, of course, helping out with the channel. Mad respect. Always appreciate it, man. You said, I demand you in this stream, LOL. He said, what's up, good bro? He said, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Good to see you, man. It's been a while, man. I haven't heard from you in a while. So it is really nice to hear from you and see all is well on your end. We've got... Anthony, I can't say the last name. I'm probably gonna butcher the last name. But what's going on, man? You said, is Hisense gonna be the king this? Wait, is Hisense gonna be the king this model year? I think Hisense may end up taking 2021, but it really does depend. So it is what it is. My wife is like telling me something. She's trying to communicate, so I don't know what she's trying to tell me. Huh?
Black Manta wins.
My wife says BitCloud gets a thumbs up. I don't know. She just came in here to say that. So if you're still there, BitCloud, my wife says thumbs up. So that's random, but okay. What's up? Moving on with the stream. I get very distracted easy by family members in my household, if you guys haven't already noticed. Hey, what's going on? Nesquick Music, what's going on? I appreciate your donation of $2. It really does help the channel grow. I do thank you for that, man. Like, really, I super appreciate it. And I love the emoji. I'm absolutely digging the dingo, man. That's super cool. Alright, so we've got more questions in the stream here. I'm going to try to scroll back up so I can see everybody's question. Trying to get to everybody I can. We got Zachary. What's going on, man? You said, hey, Q, any information on the Canadian U6G? I haven't heard anything yet. Unfortunately, I'm stateside, so I don't really get that kind of international information yet. You said they're calling it the U68G up here. Not sure if it's downgraded or not. Yeah, nobody tells me anything, really. I mean, you would think, like, you know, I have a source at Hisense, but, like, I'm not, contrary to what many think, I really don't work for them, so I don't know all the things that somebody that works for them would know. So, unfortunately, that's just something I'm like you, man. I gotta wait till I hear, too. What's going on, Dane? You said I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. Hey, shout out in Trinidad. That's what's up, man. I love when you guys rep your countries and like where you guys are from. Like, I don't ever know when you guys are coming from other places. So if you guys have a country, shout it out in the comment section and just go crazy with it. I want to see where you guys are coming from. I'll go first. I'm from Florida in the United States, the Sunshine State. Yay! I hear we're about to get hit with a hurricane soon, but I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to keep watching it, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's gonna be some crap. But you know, it's Florida. What can I do? But yeah, shout out where you guys are from. I'd love to see and you know show the love from your city and all that good stuff. All right, so we've got more questions coming in from Mark, what's going on? You said LG G1 77-inch versus the A80J, coming from a 55-inch CFBL from 2004, mix of games and streaming. I would give the edge to the LG G1. I would say if you have the ability to wall mount it, obviously it doesn't come with a stand, so that's like the big thing. And also for PlayStation, if you choose to game outside of game mode or use your PlayStation as a Blu-ray player, you will lose motion processing because it grays out on LG displays. Don't know why that happens, but unfortunately it's not something LG is fixing, even though they are aware of it, so it's very weird. But if you didn't need it, if you didn't need to use it that way, then I would say then go with the A80J, or rather the, I think I said the reverse of it. If you don't want to have your settings grayed out, go with the A80J. If you really don't care about it, then go with the G1. That's kind of how I would go about that. We've got more people coming in. Got to scroll back up to the top here. And we've got, I think I'm missing some people. I'm going to mess this up. Aoi? I think that's how you say it. Sorry if I butchered your name. You said, yo, I got the LG C1 55-inch open box from Best Buy. Excellent, certified for $1470 with taxes. Man, I just recently sold my 55-inch LG C10 for like $600. So, I mean, like, if you guys stick around and you like subscribe and join this journey, I tell you, you're gonna eventually see more deals like that pop up in the community tab where I'm like, yo, I got this TV if you want to buy it, you know, in Orlando, Florida, what's up? Come on by and I got you covered, man. So that's kind of how I go about it. So hopefully you can see deals as they come, because yeah, it's always exciting when we get the deals. Like, I'm crazy about deals. Like, when I see a low price, sometimes I'm just like, it doesn't even have to make sense. I don't even need it. If I see, like, let's say for example, like, especially with photography equipment, I'm the worst with it because it's what I literally live for, right? So it's like when I see like, oh, this lens has just got discounted by like, it could be something stupid like $99. I'm like, all right, so how are we paying for this again now? You guys got a PayPal? What do you got? You know, I go crazy with it. So it's always a lot of fun for me when I see stuff like that. But yeah. Big shout out to Nesquick Music. Thank you so much for your donation of $5. It really does help keep the channel independent, and I super appreciate it, man. So your question is, if I'm buying a TV in September, would you still recommend the A80J, or is there other TVs coming out? Also, I probably will play on Xbox and PS5, and you're using it for movies. I think that's kind of tough because I don't really hear anything down the grapevine from like TCL with like Vidrian 8K. I mean, I hear it's fall, maybe winter that it's coming out. I don't really know. But more importantly, their other lineup, which is their like regular 4K line, I haven't heard anything about that. So I don't know if that could maybe be an alternative. And then also, I mean, it's kind of hard because you have LG, who is cheaper, and they do have more features, and they are better suited for gaming. And I mean, I don't know, it depends. If you want VRR right now, LG is probably going to be better if you're playing on Xbox and PS5. Even though PS5 doesn't have VRR, it's this whole weird thing. So I don't know, man. It really does depend. But the A80J isn't a like terrible TV, I would say. It's not the worst TV you could buy if you're trying to, I guess, do some sort of movie watching on it, but I definitely wouldn't buy it for gaming. For that, I would 100% go with something like the LG C1. Personally, like, that's what I would really literally buy. Like, if I was in the OLED market, just out of all of them anyway, like out of what I've seen, I would run to the LG C1. And I'm not lying, I'm kind of low-key kind of waiting for the price to go down towards Black Friday so I could maybe possibly pick one up. I don't know. But I don't know, I've been eyeing it though, because I really love the picture and the motion on it is exceptional. That's really the one thing from the A80J that I immediately noticed is like the A80J is jittery, and like for some like that say that it doesn't matter, it's like many people game in game mode. So when you're in game mode and you have all motion processing disabled with no way to enable it, you're going to see how bad the motion is. And anyone telling you that, oh, it's a great TV, you should totally buy it, it's one of the best TVs this year, they're capping. They're literally lying to you. And it's sad, but, you know, hey, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I would definitely, if you want fluidity of motion, especially in movies, like I was watching Mulan with the C1, and oh my god, I'm not gonna lie, dude, I was like blown away. There was a point where I felt a little salty, because I'm sitting here with the A8G 65-inch as my daily driver, and I'm like, man, it's only been a couple years and OLED just got this much better in such a short period of time. The reds are better, the sharpness and clarity are better, and the motion is to die for. And it really, like, bro, really made a believer out of me, like, out of nowhere. Like, that, the C1 is the OLED the C10 should have been. And I'll just leave it there, because I'll sound like I'm shilling for LG otherwise. But, no, it's a really strong TV for sure. So, hopefully that kind of helped answer your question there, man. We've got a question coming in from Figgin Swifter. I hope I said that right. If I butchered your name, I apologize. You said, hey bro, thanks for helping me pick out a TV that I got a week ago. You said I got the Hisense U8G. Will you do, you said, will you have a video on just video game settings for this TV? I'm not really planning on doing anything else with it, unfortunately, because I don't have it anymore. But if, like, the settings do transfer laterally, right, from like one model to another, then you can always try out the H9G settings that I did put out, because I do have gaming settings for those, I believe. I'd have to double check with that. Maybe you get with me in the comment section. I could like try to send you a link or try to find it, but I think they should transfer pretty well. I've seen some members already saying that they've tried it out on their H9G with excellent results, so it's hard to really gauge this when I'm just kind of going by eye for sure. And a big shout out to Nest Quick Music for donating again. I appreciate it, man. You're on fire tonight, man, for sure. I appreciate it. You said thank you. You said the information and support you provide is well worth any donation. And really, I do appreciate that. I mean, honestly, I'm not doing one of those question for payment type deals here. I really just do this because I want to see you guys succeed when buying your TV, because I know what it's like, right? I know what it's like to be out there struggling through information. It's annoying because, like, I'm buying like a bunch of stuff for my office, for my studio, to improve the quality of our videos and stuff. And so it's so annoying because I go through all these videos because I don't know everything, right? I'm not a great sage of some sort. So I have to do what you guys do and do research. And when I do, it's so stressful because there's so many people putting on commercials. And I'll immediately pick up on it when they start going down the avenue of, oh, and I want to give a thank you to our sponsor, Squarespace. I'm like, oh my God, not this again. And then they go on to talk about things that are like misleading and stuff, and I can kind of pick up on it. So it's really annoying. So I can only imagine what it's like if you had to buy a TV, which is like one of your biggest purchases in your life that you're going to make, next to like maybe an appliance, right? Or like a car. So obviously I try to make sure that information is on point and you're not sitting here like being misled. So I definitely do appreciate it, Nest Quick Music. Seriously, thank you for your support and, you know, just being awesome. All right, so we're gonna scroll back up to the top and see what other questions we got here.
You're no match for a god.
Yeah, you were asking if I'll do settings for just video games. Yeah, I don't have the U8G anymore, unfortunately. What's going on, Christian? You said for 2021, Hisense definitely takes #1 spot. You can't beat the value and can't wait for the U7G. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very curious to see what they do with the U7G. If the U6 is this good, like, and guys, like, just like candidly breaking the fourth wall, like, I'm just sitting here like watching it, just messing around, creating settings and stuff. And like, there are moments where I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of like, man, like, I'm pretty blown away by a budget TV. Like that never happens on this channel, like literally ever. Usually I tell you they're trash because they are, and I say, hey, you know, you're better off getting the step up, or, you know, they make compromises or cut corners somewhere. But it's like, this TV hits pretty hard for what it is, man. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of you are going to be pretty salty if you ever buy something like the Sony X90J, for example, and compare it to the Hisense U6G. You're going to see immediately what I'm talking about when I say the black levels are just ridiculous, and the contrast and the color, all of it. Like, you're going to be really angry because you're going to see just how little everybody is trying. But then it sucks because, like, not to beat a dead horse here, but you guys will watch other channels that will say something completely contradictory to everything I say here. And that's fine, But at the end of the day, you're going to see it with your own eyes if you run these kind of comparisons, because I'm telling you, Hisense isn't... it's so hard because it's like people feel like, you know, oh, you're sponsored by Hisense. Hisense is in your back pocket. And it's like, dude, I'm telling you right now, compare it. Like, do yourself the favor. Like, I've been talking about Hisense before anybody was ever willing to. Like, back in 2019, everybody was like scoffing at the H9F, right? And then it turned out to be this awesome TV, and slowly but surely, everybody started jumping on Hisense, and they're like, oh, it's a great brand. I'm like, yeah, I've been there. I was the #1 guy saying that from day one. So, you know, the U6G is another one of those TVs that, give it time, by like the second generation, probably next year, everybody's gonna love it. Everybody's gonna want to talk it up. So jump on it now before people start hyping it up and making it difficult to find, because I'm telling you, it is a monster of a TV. Still don't believe that they're giving it away at this price point. I feel like it's like almost like a gotcha moment, like where the price is gonna go up randomly, but you know, I don't know. All right, so we've got a question coming in from Felix. What's going on, man? And thank you for being a VIP member. I appreciate everything you do, brother. You said, hey, Quantum, good to see you again, brother. I have, you said, the H9G on your recommendation. Oh, okay, so you got the H9G on the recommendation. You said you love it again. Then thanks again. Yeah, man, most definitely. The H9G is a killer set for sure. I still think the Dolby Vision is one of the better Dolby Visions I've ever seen. I mean, really, it was an impressive TV. It truly is. So I'm so glad I was able to help you out, man. So yeah, Felix, definitely appreciate that. What are your thoughts on the TCL 6 Series? I think in 2021, the 6 Series becomes extremely viable because of how crappy most of the other LED options are from the bigger brands. And I think when you compare it, it becomes like an almost no-brainer for what you're getting. Because I've seen the same level of blooming that the Samsung QN98 has on the Q60, or not the Q60, the, what is it called? The R635. So, I mean, really, just go with the TCL for that. Save hundreds of dollars. Buy yourself a soundbar instead, and then walk away a winner. You know what I mean? Like, that's the ultimate victory that we're all looking for here. And I think that's really the best way to go about the 6 Series. Massive shout out to Nesquik Music. I appreciate you back again, donating $10, man. You are turning up in the comments, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for it. You said, I can only get a TV ever so often, so this is really a lifesaver. Believe me, I completely understand. You said for the LG C1, any leads on a great soundbar? For a soundbar, I would recommend the Sony Z9F soundbar. Sometimes you can find it for $699 on sale. You probably can on Black Friday, but in general, it's pretty pricey. It's like $899, but it's well worth it. It's been my daily driver since like 2018, and I absolutely cannot say enough about how immersive this soundbar is. So like for when I was using the C10, which I didn't have to, I was able to use it, and just testing it out on other TVs, it doesn't have handshaking issues that you'd find on some other sound bars. So that was like really important to me. But I think the thing that clinches it for me is it has pass-through that is brilliant. So you're able to basically get back an extra HDMI port. So, you know, for the cost of one HDMI port, you open up 2 more. So it's really great because then it lets me hook up my PC and like all my other stuff. So yeah, I can't say enough about it. It's excellent. Definitely my top pick. And a huge shout out to Christian Wilson for donating $5 to the channel. I super appreciate you as well, my brother. Thank you so much for helping us out. Stay independent. You said, just wanted to say, really appreciate everything you do. Keep up the great work. Plan on becoming a VIP member as soon as I get my new Hisense. And I truly appreciate that, man, for sure. Like, everything you guys do, when you guys throw those donations, it helps this channel grow, and we're able to reach new heights here. I really wouldn't be anything without you guys, so ultimately I do want to say a huge thank you to every last one of you that believe in what I do and support this journey, because honestly, we're doing it together, and I really do appreciate all of you guys that are looking out for the channel, and I see you guys, man, so really, thank you for that. Alright, so we're going to scroll back up, and we're going to read some more of these questions you guys have. We've got... I don't want to butcher your name, so I'm just going to read it off here. I'm not gonna try it. You said, hey Quantum, I'm not a gamer. I usually just watch TV shows and movies. I have my eye on the A8H and the C10. Which should I buy? Thanks. I'd buy the Sony A8H because the C10, even though it has better motion and it's got the gaming features, I've never liked the C10 truly. Even after the updates, it got better and it became more acceptable, but I never recommended that TV, and I still kind of don't. I ended up selling it off for $600. That's how bad I felt having it, like, after a while. Like, and it got to a point, and I'm just going to break the fourth wall, whether it makes people happy or not. I'm just going to be myself and be honest with you. It got to a point where I was watching it one night, and I'm all by myself. You know, everybody in the house is asleep. I'm in there. I've got my Govee immersion light kit on, and I got all the light effects going off, and I'm looking at the colors, and I'm like, see, it's really so blatant when I can see the red on the Govee and look at the red on the LG and see how off it is. And so I go in, and I'm trying to calibrate and get it out, and I'm just like, man, this is a really ugly set. The C1 never has those problems, but the C10 definitely has that, like, really sour red that is hard to get out. And for me, I couldn't do it anymore, and I just was like, you know what, screw it. And I ended up selling it to one of our subscribers here, Alex. You know, if you're watching, hey, you know, it was nice to meet you. You know, he was, like, by the way, the only person on this channel that, like, ever actually, like, met me in person. So it was kind of a new thing that I did here, but it was still pretty cool. But the point is, yeah, I definitely kind of had to walk away from it because it wasn't for me, ultimately speaking. Alright, so we're gonna scroll back up and see if I can get more questions answered here with the time that I've got. Alright, scrolling. And we've got, what are your thoughts on, I already answered the 6 series. Sometimes it gets way out of whack and I can't see everybody's question. It's not like an organized chat log at all, but I'll see what I can do about getting everybody's. If I miss your question, please ask it again because I can't get everything in order all the time. It says, do you think it's worth picking up the LG G1 77-inch, or should I hold out till next year to wait to see what the LG G2 has to offer? Honestly, if you have the discipline and you can wait, I'd say, yeah, why not wait? Because what we've seen right now is kind of like, it's kind of basic. I'm not gonna lie. They touted Evo and they're like, wow, brilliant brightness, but then they're like hitting the same numbers as the 2018 LG C8. So it's just kind of like, you guys aren't really doing anything new at this point outside of better clarity and upscaling, which is great, but I don't know if it's worth the amount of money they're asking for. I'd wait for something that's like a marked improvement, very obvious that there's something game-changing about the TV. That's what I'll say there. And a huge shout out to CS for your donation of $2. I really appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for helping us out. You said, got the LG C1 because you helped me out. Thanks. Yeah, the C1 honestly is like my literally favorite OLED LG has ever made. I would say like after that comes the LG E8 because I love the picture on glass. And I'm so sour they stopped doing that because those were sexy. But, you know, it is what it is. But yes, I'm so glad that I was able to help and that you're able to enjoy something now. So, yeah, thanks again. We've got big shout out to Nesquik Music, again, donating $5. At this point, I'm going to drain you dry, man. I don't want to do that. I appreciate you, though, man. Thank you so much, brother. You said, thank you. You said the Sony Z9F is the right soundbar. Yes, that's the soundbar that I would go with, the Sony Z9F. That's the one I have right now. And you said, I want to see this channel grow to the top because it's the best info out there. Lord knows I'm definitely trying, but, you know, at the end of the day, the way I look at it, it might sound a little narcissistic, if you will, but I think many people watching now will understand where I'm coming from. I don't really look at it like, you know, I have to grow and get to the top of something. Honestly, the way I look at it, I'm in a competition with myself. As long as I can be better every day and build upon the kind of content that I was doing yesterday, improve my videography skills, improve my method of delivering information, maybe become a little bit better of a teacher. As long as I can do those things, I feel like, honestly, I don't really care about the other stuff. So it's really great to have people like you that love what I do and not only love it, but support what I do. And, you know, you want this channel to grow and to succeed, so I can really appreciate you wanting to share that journey with me, because ultimately speaking, it's about bettering ourselves and getting the right information out to the people who want it. So thank you so much for that, man. I super duper appreciate it. You're awesome. Gonna scroll back up here, and we've got RL Car. You said I have a phone I can send you. You said hold on. Can you send me the direct link to the VIP? Yes, I can send you the direct link. Please request the direct link in the chat or in the comment section, and I'll be able to link you the direct link to the VIP link for you. What's going on, Brandon Taylor? You said H9F still going hard. Thanks. It really is, though. It's an excellent TV for sure. Elijah, what's going on, man? Thanks for being a VIP member. I definitely appreciate you dropping by. Super appreciate it. You said, I'm waiting for all the TVs to launch this year for you to review them, to pick out a premium TV set. You said, I picked up the Hisense U6G and loved it. You said, any chance you'll put out Dolby Vision settings? Those are actually the next settings that I'm working on right now. So I'm in the process of trying to refine them and get them to where they need to be. Typically, I don't really use HDR, but I'm trying to put out a little something more for the so-called budget, you know, bracket of video quality, because I know I have it for the H9G, and that kind of translates over to the U8G. It's almost the same thing, but the U6 is very different, so they need their own settings there, but it's something I'm definitely going to try to work on. Hopefully I can get it where I want it, and then I can put out something that's absolutely killer. But yeah, those are definitely in the plans. What's going on? Divided. I'm not even going to try to say the name. You said U8G versus U6G, which is better? I mean, I would give an edge towards the U8G, but the U6 does have black levels. We have Nest Quick Music. You said YouTube Live is lit. I appreciate it, man. I mean, you're definitely helping make it fire for sure. I appreciate it a lot. Anthony, what's going on? You said Southeast Texas. That's what's up. We've got Germany in the house. What's going on? We've got Most Critical. You said big fan of Quantum. Greetings from Sweden. That's what's going on. I love hearing from all you guys and where you're from. What's going on, Joshua? North Hollywood, California. Big shout out to you, man. You said we got Ariel. What's going on? You said Brazil. That's what's going on, man. You got you guys from all over the world. Literally, it's so cool. I love hearing where you guys are from, man. Really, never get tired of hearing where you guys are from. You said, I believe they opened up motion processing on the PS5 on the C1 in a recent update. I don't know, man. I haven't had the chance to reassess the C1, so I was only going off of what I saw initially, but I hope so. If they did, that would be great, and then I could just update that information again. Eastern West Virginia. That's what's going on, Christian. That's what's up. We've got come to Amsterdam, man. We've got a guy from Amsterdam. That's what's up. I don't know how to say that. Dominique South. Is it Dominique South Louisiana, I think? Either way, we've got Louisiana in the house. What's going on? Joshua, you said, never mind, True Motion and Cinemotion settings are still grayed out. So yeah, I'm just now seeing these messages. I know these were sent at like 7:23, and I'm just now getting them now in the chat log. Ariel, you said, which TV has the best motion looking to use with the Series X? I would put my hat on the C1, the A1 from LG, Hisense with the H9G, that's excellent motion. If you can find an H9F, that still has excellent motion. But of course you won't have 120 FPS, so that's kind of, you know, you have to assess if you want a game in 4K 60 on the Hisense. But I would really lean more towards LG with the C1. That really, I'm not lying, dude. That TV really shocked me. So yeah, most definitely. Joshua, you said, nice. There's still hope for you to get a C1 again. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, we'll see how it goes. But I'm sure you guys already know how it goes. You want to buy a TV, but at the end of the day, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble with your significant other if you start buying too many TVs. And I'm no Superman, and I'm not impervious to that kryptonite, so needless to say, it really depends on the missus. Now, when it comes down to it, we've got more questions, and we're gonna have a limited amount of time here, so if you guys have some questions, try to bang them out, and I'm not gonna read names. I'm just gonna go down and read as many questions and answer as quickly as I can. Okay, so YouTube won't let me super chat, but try East something stream. I can't pronounce that right now. Live for donations. More go to you. Thanks for the GoV deal and the C1 H9G info. Yeah, no problem, Ollie. I mean, unfortunately, I'm strictly a YouTuber kind of guy. I don't really go to other platforms, but I definitely do appreciate everything, man. So either way, it's the thought that counts, man. I'm glad I'm able to help you out. Massive shout out to Theo Miller for your donation of $4.99. It super helps us out here, as you know. And I'm digging the emoji, man. Looking fly. So we've got more coming in. And again, a shout out to Nesquik Music for your donation of $4. I super appreciate you again coming through, lighting the super chat on fire. And I'm digging these emojis, man. You guys are killing them. We got a pair with a yoga hat or something like that on. It's so cool. It's so retro. I dig it. All right, so we've got I'm in the market for a budget 65-inch TV. What would you recommend? Hisense U8G and the Hisense U6G are the top budget TVs. I mean, you could try the LG OLED A1, but it died on me like shortly after getting it, so I probably wouldn't do that. But you could do that. It is an option. What's going on, Pierre? You said keep up the good work. I appreciate it, brother. Hey Q, just found a great deal on the for the 65-inch X90J with the Soundbar 1898. Do you still think it's better to get the U8G for 65-inch for 1998? I mean, no. I mean, if you found, well, it's the same as the US version. That's hard though, because like everything in Canada is super duper expensive, so when I hear your prices, it's hard to put that in context as to like what that actually would be for US. So it's hard. I really don't know. If any of my guys in Canada can weigh in on this, is it better for him to get the H9G, or rather the U8G for 1998 Canadian, or buy the X90J for 1898 Canadian with the soundbar? I mean, the soundbar deal sounds better, but I don't actually know because I'm not Canadian and I don't know what the translation is in USD. So hopefully any of you guys can kind of give him an answer here. Big shout out to Enoch. Thank you for being one of our long-term VIP members. I definitely appreciate it for sure. He said, when I bought the Hisense HE in 2018, it had major issues. The reason being it doesn't have motion processing, but when it comes to picture quality, it was very excellent on black levels and SDR mode. Yeah, it kind of seems like the U6G is kind of taking a page out of that book in that regard for sure. Nesquik Music says, congrats on the C1. The Samsung Q900T soundbar is also on sale quite a lot nowadays, which is a really good soundbar in my opinion. Haven't seen them. I have, however, been getting a lot of requests from you guys to start reviewing soundbars, so I think I may just start getting into reviewing some soundbars. Sound off in the comments, let me know if that's something you guys want to see, and maybe we'll start doing it if you guys can recommend specific soundbars you want to see and the kinds of comparisons you are looking to have done with them. I'll try to work up some sort of template rubric idea of what a soundbar review should contain and be able to deliver the goods on that. But that's neither here nor now. We're going to get back to answering some of the questions here. Can you please send me the direct link? I answered that one. Hey Quantum, longtime fan of yours. You said, I'm looking for a 75 to 86 inch TV for movies and gaming. What brands do you recommend at this point? For 75 inch, it really depends on the price. You can get an awesome deal with the R635 right now. You can get an awesome deal with the Hisense U6G. Those are awesome budget options. With a slight edge to the R635, you could go the route of waiting like I'm doing and seeing what they do with the Hisense U9DG, which is basically like an OLED because it has 2 million zones of local dimming. Like that's pretty sick. I cannot wait to see that. I'm just hoping like if they get motion right and they like button up the picture quality, that's gonna be like, again, one of my main TVs. I would literally have a whole space cleared that hasn't had a TV since I sold my C10 because I'm waiting for the U9DG to come out. Like I'm literally patiently waiting with an empty hole in my credenza, just waiting to fill it with the U9DG because I'm so excited for it. just so you guys understand, I've been waiting for that TV since they announced it back in, what was it, like 2018 as like a prototype, and they first started showing it off. Like, I've been so hyped for it for the longest time, so to actually see that technology in my hands, I can't wait. But we'll see how it turns out, because of course, anytime the hype is so high, my expectations are high, and then I usually get let down, but we'll see. But yeah, those are the TVs I'd recommend, so hopefully that helps you out. I'm from Miami, Florida. What's going on, Miami in the house? What's happening? We've got, Dominic is correct, right outside of New Orleans. That's what's up. Puerto Rico, what's going on? Miriam, what's happening? Theo, what's going on? You said, from New York. You said, I need a 50-inch for the bedroom. I'm considering the U6G, but the concern is about daytime viewing. Don't be concerned about daytime viewing because it's more than bright enough for a regularly lit room. If you got a room with a ton of windows, then yeah, you might have some problems, but it does get bright enough to handle most things, capping out at like 603 nits in SDR, 633 nits in HDR. It's still more than enough to get you where you need to be. Hey Quantum, are you going to test the QNED 90 from LG? I may or may not. It really does just depend on, you know, what we can accomplish. It really, honestly, I have no idea. It's totally random sometimes. So we'll see. It's all about availability. Sometimes these TVs are out of stock for a long time. So I'd have to see if I can. Josh says, LOL, my wife got on me for TVs. Yeah, I think everybody kind of has that happen to them at one point where, you know, you get in a lot of trouble for TVs as well. So I think everybody knows. That's why we got to get it right the first time, because Lord knows if you just convinced your spouse to spend, like, let's say $1,000 on a TV, and then you come back and you raise that number to $1,500, those eyebrows go up real quick. Especially when you then turn around and go, actually, I was lying. It's actually now $2,000. That's when the problems start. So you definitely have to be careful and make sure you get the right TV the first time around. So that's what I'm here for, man. I'm trying to help. Injustice versus Mortal Kombat. I pick Injustice every day of the week. I absolutely love it. Soundbars, definitely. Okay, sounds good. Raymundo, what's going on? You said, yes, that would be nice. Can you also review monitors? I think since this channel has started, I've been getting more requests for reviewing monitors. I'm trying to figure out how, like, which monitors I could review, because I feel like anytime I tell people like something is not the best, they're like, they hate it. They shut off completely, because, and I know what it feels like, right? You're excited, you want to buy something, you look it up, and then the first thing you see is super negative, and you're like, oh my god, that is not what I wanted to hear right now. Believe me, I'm there. And it's hard, because like, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news at all, right? I want to tell you, like, everybody wins, we all win, just go ahead and buy it. But sometimes it doesn't work out like that. And I feel like with monitors, there's a lot of that. Like, I've even personally, like, before I used the Samsung Q8FN for my computer monitor in my office, I was actively looking for monitors, and I had such a hard time because everything, like, if they had local dimming and quantum dots, they wanted like $3,000, and I'm like, are you out of your mind? Like, it was always so much that went into it. So yeah, not my biggest thing. Massive shout out to Joshua for donating $1 to the channel. I really appreciate your help, and again, all that you do for the channel, I super duper appreciate. To all of you guys that are watching right now. We've got Joshua, you said picked up the 77-inch A80J, and you said thanks for the honesty. I super duper appreciate it, man, and I'm glad you were able to find the right TV for yourself. And Joshua, I appreciate it for your donation of $5. You said best 4K 75-inch TV under $2,000, TCL 8 series or Hisense U7G or something else. That's going to be really hard to answer until I see the U7G, because I could tell you the U7G probably won't be in the running, tell you to go buy the TCL 8 series. You buy that, but then it turns out that the U7G is an absolute monster, or quite the reversal on that. So I do have to wait, but the 8 series is a solid choice right now. That or the, in the States here, the R635, that's one of the better 75-inch options under $1,000 or $2,000 for sure. So most definitely something I would consider. We've got, hey Quantum, will you test the Hisense U7G? Yes, I am planning to test the Hisense U7G either this week or next week. It really just does depend. We've got A question from you, Phony. So someone's trolling here, but I'll indulge it because it's always fun. Why do you hide your face? 1, not hiding. Nobody's afraid. 2, I don't like the concept of plastering your face all over the internet. It's not a healthy thing, and it's the same reason why you don't have your legal name posted or profile picture linked to your actual identity. You want to hide yourself. It's all about privacy. So I think instead of trolling, you can understand the human element behind it. Maybe the world would be a better place. So why do I think you're trolling? Because you are. Now we've got questions coming in from, I can't even say that one. You said increasing the size from 55 to 77 inch, decreased picture quality. Yeah, I mean, anytime you increase the size to something really large, you're going to run into these huge depreciations of pixel density or DPI, and that's not something that I willingly do. I can't do it. In many cases, especially in smaller rooms, smaller bedrooms, I will almost exclusively buy 55-inch TVs for those smaller rooms, and I mean like anywhere from like 6 to 8 feet. If I'm sitting 6 to 8 feet, I'm definitely going to want a legitimate difference of 55 inches, max 65, and that would feel like a super theater for me anyway. But yeah, because I like the sharpness in the screen, and that's really for me. So yeah, I definitely see what you're talking about, man. And you, Phony, says, I'm not trolling, dude. It was a sincere question, LOL. I mean, you didn't really ask it in a very sincere way, though. You asked it in more of like an antagonizing, kind of like bonehead kind of way. You're like, why do you hide your face? I mean, anyone who's done basic research on the channel can see since like the beginning of the dawn of time itself, I've literally addressed this question like any dozens of thousands of times easily, especially in live streams, so you can watch prior ones if you need the full breakdown. But yeah, I mean, it didn't really feel very sincere, so you know, it is what it is, man. What's going on, Joshua? I appreciate your donation of $2, and let's get down to the super chat where you say the best gaming monitor for PS4 Slim. I play FPS. And that's going to be really hard for me because typically when I bought my wife's gaming monitor, the first thing I wanted, and I knew I wanted, was wide color gamut, quantum dot color. I was not compromising on that. So I ended up going with a Samsung monitor, but then it gets down to like, you know, right down to the nitty gritty as to what kind of monitor you're looking for. I can try to find the video I made on the monitor I reviewed that I got for my wife, and I can try to show you that, and maybe that might work for you. But typically I go with Samsung QLED monitors because they're just the most affordable monitors that do the most for the money. Because I can't go the route of like maybe thinking like an OLED monitor, because burn-in is a very real thing. Hell, I recently got burn-in on my Samsung Galaxy S9 after all these years. So it's one of those things like it might not happen immediately, but you definitely will eventually run the risk of burn-in. And I got burn-in doing the dumbest thing. I was literally just watching Hulu. So it's like, you know, like to do that on a monitor, like I can't say I would want to do that. Euphony says, I'm new to this channel. Well, welcome to the channel. We've got Anime Rapper. You said, which TV do you use to watch anime? I exclusively use the Sony A8G. Like 9 times out of 10 when I'm watching anime, I'll do that. Or when I'm not doing that, I'm using like my Samsung phone, and I'm just kind of hanging out with my phone connected up, hanging up over me, and just kind of watching it that way. But usually the A8G, because the contrast is like top notch, particularly on the X1 Extreme processors, because what they were able to do with those processors was something like truly amazing and super special, and that like everything looks HDR in Cinema Home without you having to do much of anything. So that's one of those things I can really appreciate. I probably made in Dade 305. What's going on, man? You said, hey Quantum, so C1 over the C10? Yes, most definitely. You said I'm going to pull the trigger on a 48-inch. Definitely pull the trigger on the C1. It is the better TV by far. Color, clarity, sharpness, motion, all of it is better. And what's going on? I can't say your name. Maybe Bling? I don't know. What's going on? So At this point in time, I do appreciate all you guys for stopping by. We've got our final question of the night, the QN90A or A80J. I would say I would go with the A80J. The QN90A just really didn't amount to much, and that's just kind of how we'll go about it from there. You can watch my review on that, but I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by and spending time out of your night to be with me here on this live stream. For all the people that donated super chats, you guys were on fire tonight. I super appreciate it, as always, helping us stay independent and rocking out with awesome content. We've got more things on the way. We've got some stuff from GoV, and we've got some stuff down the road from Hisense, and also some other TV stuff. And I'll look into some monitors, possibly, and possibly some sound bars. We'll see what we can do. So you guys have yourself a great night, and take care. And as always, thanks for watching the #1 brand in honesty. Until the next video, see you guys later.
I'm way ahead of you.